Hey everybody, welcome to this week's Star Report. This is Jason here at New Dimensions Crystals and Reiki in downtown Brenham, Texas. And today's report is for June the 25th, 2025 through July the 1st, 2025. And as usual, we jump right into the sun. The sun is continuing to pound us with energy, but it seems to be more manageable. A lot of people had reported last week that the atmosphere was thick and causing struggle. It continues this week if that is a struggle for you, but like anything, when we get more used to it, it becomes easier to deal with. And for the sun this week, we have currently today, there's a coronal hole stream that should be reaching Earth by the end of the day. And the coronal hole stream sends a plasma stream towards the planet. And when that impacts, it is predicted to be a level 2 geomagnetic storm. With level 2 geomagnetic storms, sometimes internet slows, technology wanes. Every once in a while, in some places with weak grids, you might have some power failures or outages for just a little bit. Sometimes satellite and GPS are also interrupted. Coronal hole streams, metaphysically, though, are really sort of a compression, a feeling of heaviness, like you're moving through something thick. Sometimes it could almost feel like all of a sudden something's there when there wasn't something there, right? So it could also feel like a presence. So it doesn't always have to be that difficulty of I'm stuck in the mud, but it could be you were feeling isolated and alone. And this energy of the sun sort of gives that compression where you sort of feel like, hey, there's some energy moving through the cosmos, and I might not necessarily be, what's the word, isolated from that which is plasma universe as it is. Yeah, good stuff. So the sun, pay attention to that. Not a whole lot of uh, sunspots on the sun that are causing any kind of interruptions. Had been a whole lot of flaring, and it looks like it's a pretty calm incoming part of the disk. There is another southern hemisphere of the sun coronal hole coming in that should, as this one turns away, start to come into view. So pay attention to that. Should be a continued similar energy from the sun for a while. We are currently, speaking of the sun, in the zodiac of Cancer, which alchemically relates to the breasts, the stomach, and the spleen. So that's sort of your physical personhood, and then sort of your ability to filter out physical reality and everybody else's BS. So the spleen is known to filter the toxicity of psychic energy, which is non-congruent with what you want to be doing. And then, of course, the stomach, your gut. You have a whole lot of things going on with the gut, gut instinct, human gut biome. All right, so diet's very important. And then just sort of here in the chest area, the ability to sort of keep things at bay, yada, yada, yada. And we are currently in Pluto retrograde. Am I shaking the whole screen? Oh my goodness, I'm going crazy. It's not an earthquake here, I swear. Pluto retrograde is usually about discovering or working on old wounds, whether that is getting the lessons from them or getting the power from them, because it's also about deep hidden powers that we have and have been sort of being built over time. So pay attention to that. Pluto retrograde is currently the only retrograde, but as we move into July, that might not be the case. We'll get to that when we get to July 1st. Lead center today, June the 25th. It is the new moon. And what did I write? That's a weird. Oh, that's not that weird. Really, you're going to sort of compassionate. That's a good word. The goings on, right? So rather than looking with it with the trigger or the intensity of which it's given, you're going to sort of compassionate it, empathize it, see it from all sides, and then decide whether that is helping or distorting or diverting you from your own inner pathway. Your inner skills are really having the chance to awaken with this new moon. You want to sort of say that it might be revealed to you during this time, during the new moon, that you were built for this, right? A lot of us are tired of being built for this, but we are. So there you go. Pay attention to that. And a little bit of the energy of this new moon is going to be receiving a little bit of inner validation for just sort of some things where you acted in a certain way, or certain people left or came into your life and you were like, I think it's because of this, and blah 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 blah. So the inner validation is really sort of an alignment that for you that was true. And then sometimes perhaps those things that you've recognized can be externally affirmed, but really look for the day in the new moon to be the sort of inner validation that you're on the right path, that you're moving in the right direction, that you're guided. Oh wow, smoke just right in the nose. You're guided by divinity, which is coming from self, which we sort of get into in the next couple of days about being able to discern what's your voice and what's the other voice. Thursday, the 26th of June, Mercury is really going to be influence. It's going to be influential, and it's really going to help you gather your logical mind, right? So all of this intuition and stuff, right? Mercury is going to help you communicate that into a logical action plan. The ability to act on your normally high intuition. My hair's a little crazy today. Um, and just sort of the reminder is the easiest way to discern and allow your logical mind to sort of create out of your intuition and your knowing is to be in the now. Um, be in the now always, or in the eternal always, which is right now. What? Yeah. So just work with that the way you will. The main thing to sort of pay attention to on Thursday with this sort of Mercury influence is you can trust yourself. I know sometimes it's hard. But what if acting from your own intuition is hard because intuition is individualized usually, and means sometimes that others might not be coming along with your perceived direction. Yeah, fun times. Leads you into Friday the 27th. Mercury continues to work on you for those couple days. And so it's going to really be sort of setting the stage for you to rise to the occasion. Not only are you going to know the logical steps, but you're going to have the ability to act on them. Um, that's a weird things. Oh, there we go. I was like, I can't read my handwriting. I wrote it so fast. Uh, really, the things that are going to be coming up on Friday are things that you've been putting off, which you think are hard to face, and that's what you're going to be rising to the occasion of. Right? You might have been diverting hard conversations. You might have been diverting action to change jobs, move locations, figure out how to change jobs and move locations, discover or lean into a new skill set that might not be as accepted or monetarily beneficial as your current one, right? So those things that have been hard to face, you're really going to sort of come to that ability to sort of not only face them, but sort of have the ability to work through them and sort of check them off the to-do list. So yeah, should be a good Friday. Always a good thing to lead right into the weekend. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that negative thought that I just had out there because it doesn't need to be said. I don't need to. I don't need to put that hurt on you. Just I was thinking of typical things that happen on Fridays. Anywho, moving to Saturday, June the 28th, Neptune's going to really be influential on that day, and it's going to be that's where I was getting to. I alluded to at the beginning of the report. Saturday is really going to, with the help of Neptune, going to be able to help you discern which inner voice is yours and not which inner voice is programming, repetitiveness, propaganda, belief systems, right? But a voice is sort of guiding you to sort of use all those little pieces of the environment of the cosmos which you inhabit or are currently projecting and emanating the self into, and sort of really know which voice is yours. And that signal is usually easier to discern when you sort of find times of silence, right? And so the difficulty when the world is the way it is finding those times of silence, because you don't want to miss out, you don't want to miss you don't want to miss an alert, you don't want to miss a notification, and so that ability to sort of just like, hey, all of those things may or may not be, probably are, affecting and directing me in places that my own inner guidance doesn't want me to go, or is diverting me from that. Sort of find those times of silence in the planet Neptune, so our deep spiritual skills way out there. And that's usually going to be sort of an emotional calm, right? So you want to think of Neptune as sort of a deep ocean of spirituality. And so it's when we sort of sink deeper into it, right? It's kind of like if we're splashing above the water, we're doing water sports, we're fishing, we're boating, we're skiing. But we sort of find those times like just to float in the water, let the ears go underneath the surface and sort of find that calm. That's really that sort of deepness of Neptune that we're looking for on Saturday. So chill out on Saturday, unless you're working at the shop like I am. But when is Jason not calm? Anyway, moving on. Sunday, the 29th of 2025, June the 29th. The moon's really going to be allowing you to highlight who you are in this developing new now, right? So a lot of times as old sections go away, that's who we were and we knew what role we played in that, which is why sometimes we fight so hard because it's like, oh, how many times can I recreate the self or reorient the self in a new now? And so really on Sunday, the moon's really going to sort of be giving you the energy to sort of like highlight like what is the new now, how do you sort of create, and what does that structure look like, and then what's the best you to be in that now, right? And this is not sort of creating out of nothingness, this is really sort of a perspective thing, um kind of like being short and being tall, right? Short people can go into smaller spaces, tall people don't have to get ladders, right? So it's those kinds of things, right? This is going to be what are your skills in this thing. And it's not necessarily becoming something different, but understanding what you are and what this new now is becoming on Sunday. It sounds like a good Sunday. Leads us into Monday, June the 30th, 2025. And on Monday, we're really hitting the beginning of the pre-shadow to Mercury retrograde. It's about a 2.5 week period of that pre-shadow to Mercury retrograde. And really, that pre-shadow is when we start to get inclinations or hints or even outright notifications of here's the things that you're going to be revisiting during Mercury retrograde, right? And of course, Mercury retrograde is about communication and travel and movement, but it's also that ability to sort of communicate that information. And so, oh yeah. So really the beginning 2 week periods, right? If you're going to be this new person in this new now, really look for this Mercury retrograde to be sort of giving you those past events as you revisit them as, oh, wait a second. I thought this was just trauma. I thought this was just a diversion, but what it really was practice for this sort of new now that we're entering, right? So beginning Monday, and that pre-shattered Mercury retrograde 2.5 weeks later, will really sort of be into rather than the trepidation of what the heck's happening in the planet and who the heck's running it and what role, if any, and what power can I wield within it. Then we start to discover what that is. Thanks, Mercury. And then that leads us into Tuesday, July the 1st, 2025, into a new month. And just sort of a highlight that as we move in to July, that there are going to be 5 retrogrades by the end of the month. And then just for the day itself, as we sort of move into that, Saturn and Neptune are really going to align to give you the magic formula to not only know or decide or discern what actions to take, but it's going to sort of give you that magic formula, whether that be a mantra, whether that be a habit, whether that be a routine, to sort of build that into a reality, to sort of anchor that newness into this existence that we're currently in. So that sounds like a good Tuesday, if you ask me. And I think that's everything I wrote down. Pretty brief week, pretty run of the mill. I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening, but it's not like there's anything different happening, right? It's just the continued intensity, and that continued intensity is sort of really training the consciousness to sort of have this awakening, where we realize our own power and how we're sort of fitting into this newness rather than how are we fighting the collapse of this oldness. And so that sounds like a pretty good week. Should be at the shop 11 to 5 all week, as far as I know. So if you need to book an appointment for next week, Mondays and Tuesdays, newdimensionscrystals.com and book there for an energy session. Of course, if you can slide in between all of the people that are shopping in downtown Brenham, Texas, tarot card readings are usually walk in, and we'll sort of fit you in for those 15 minutes before anybody else comes in or during their shopping spree. And I think that's everything. Of course, if you need to reach me, send an email, newdimensionscrystals.com. We'll get you to that contact form. And I think I'm going to look for the little button that says stop and wish everybody many blessings.